Hi, we're Board Game Opinions. My name's Jonathan Hicks.
I'm Steve Rain.
I'm Nathan Miles.
I'm Mark Windle.
And today is our TableTalk video where we discuss hot topics in board gaming. And today's question has been provided by one of our viewers. Forgive me for mispronunciation here, but Hippocrates Nostopoulos has asked the question, when rating a game, do you rate the game or the experience playing the game? So game versus experience. So it's a really good question, I think. What do we think?
I haven't got a clear answer to this, but I do know, I'm trying to come up to an answer as I'm going, but I do know that when I rate a game there and then, and I come back a year later, I'm generally going to rate it lower than higher if I've not played it between. So I imagine that if I rate this game, this is an 8, I had a good time, and I think back later and think, I'm thinking that more of the game a year later, I probably might rate it a 7.
Like if I put my rating on Board Game Geek, they generally pretty much all drop. Very few move up because over time, I think new experience can add a little bit of a.
Yeah. So the first time I play a game, I'm more likely to overrate it than I'm going to play it. Once I play it a few times, it's more likely to dip after a few plays. But I think that might be because I have a really good time the first time, mainly because the game's new, rather than experience potentially.
Yeah. For me, when I rate a game, I always try and think objectively. Now, I realise I can't be objective, it's still going to be my opinion. But I try and think about a broader audience, who's going to like this, who isn't going to like this, and I kind of factor that in. So if my personal enjoyment is a 9, but actually I think there are issues with the game, I might only rate it an 8, or vice versa. If my personal enjoyment was a 7, but actually I can see a lot of people are going to really like this, I might rate it high for that reason. So that kind of mixes the game versus experience, I think.
I reckon there can't be any way that you don't roll in your experience into your rating, because you only have your experience to go on, and so you can't objectively judge a game. I mean, you could collect everyone's opinions and give a rating based on that, but your rating is your experience.
I wonder if this links into, we had a discussion, didn't we, about the people versus the game, like the people you're playing with. Obviously, if you play a good game with bad people, if you like, then your experience isn't going to be much fun. And would that affect your rating of the game?
I mean, I try to rate it more like you, as in I try to think what other people. Often I'm quite happy to give 2 ratings on some of the videos, because if I think I didn't really enjoy this, but I think people who like this really would, because I think there is such a variation, then I will, be quite honest. I mean, the thing goes come with the channel name though. It's because we're getting opinions of multiple people. I don't expect every person there to rate based on what they think other people. I think I would expect them to rate what they think. And so if I diverge too much from that and just go what I think everybody will do rather than me, I'm giving my rating different to everybody else around the table. So is that right or wrong? I don't know.
As reviewers, I think you guys, it's very important that you add your experience into your rating, because people get an idea from how you rate things, whether they agree with you or not.
That's true.
And so they're going to rely on you. If they agree with you, they're going to rely on your ratings as a...
Because you're like Mr. Eurogamer, aren't you?
Yeah.
And everyone knows, if it's a solid Eurogamer game, then you'll like
But I'll generally, my rating reflects how I like the game, not whether the game's good or not.
Yeah. You'll often say when you're at the end of some games, it's not my kind of game. I can see it's a good game, but 4.
I don't think I'll go that low.
Well, seventh continent was the obvious one. Is that I won't give a rate to this because this isn't my game, but I can appreciate that it's a very good game.
Yeah, it's hard. I generally think that there were some games, especially like games that I've only played once, so that my opinion of the game is massively to do with how much I had fun during the game.
Party games
and escape the room games as well.
Yes. I guess you can't replay them, can you? So the experience is all you've got in that sense.
And so you can only go on that. You can think, was this a good or a bad escape the room game? Well, generally it's a good or a bad one depending on how well you did or how much fun you had doing it. Not because the game itself is flawed. If that puzzle was bad, it's going to reduce your experience. You think, I didn't like that, which means I rated poorly. But that's not necessarily the game's fault.
Yeah, I mean, a game is designed to create an experience at the end of the day. No matter what game it is, it's providing you with an experience. But I think I'm definitely with you, Nathan, on this, in the sense that you're always going to be affected by the experience that you have playing that game. But you'd hope that a good game will consistently deliver better experiences in the long run.
I mean, I think you can occasionally go, this game feels like it was an anomaly for whatever reason. Whether it was a player at the table, not necessarily being, a player played really badly and didn't care. And it's like, well, that's probably the game shouldn't be affected by that, but then, so it makes it tricky. It's always It's never going to be simple.
Have you ever played a bad game that you know, and everyone around you knows it's a bad game, but you still have fun playing it because...
That's often down to the people.
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes people just have fun, they get into it, even if you know it's not a good game.
But then I'll probably rate the game, but I'll never play it again, but play with those people again instead.
What was that zombie, the recent Martin Wallace zombie game?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
I don't think it's technically a bad game,
It wasn't
but
bad.
I think we enjoyed it more because the bizarreness and people are all
Yes.
in tears because it was so bizarre.
Experience versus game and that, and there was a big disparity.
The game was fine, but I had such a good experience to such a bizarre game.
I like to think that when I'm talking at the end of a game, I can't maybe talk too much sometimes, but when I'm talking at the end of the game, I give an indication of how much I've enjoyed the game by how I come across and how I speak and what I say I like about it. And then I like to think that my rating reflects what I think of the game. So I had a really good time playing some of the games that I don't really like. So when we played First Martians, was it First Martians?
Yeah.
Which is the Robinson Crusoe thing.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't think the game was very good, but I had a really good time. This is really good, and we were really close, and we almost died and stuff like that. 6. Yeah. So I like to think that's how I come across when my enjoyment from the game comes out from what I say afterwards. But if I'm just rating it on Board Game Geek, it's a bit harder to discern whether I'm being biased or not.
Yeah. I think that's a nice way of looking at it. All right, well, those are our opinions. What are your opinions? What do you think? How does the experience versus the game sort of fall for you? Do let us know below in the comments. We'd be very interested to read those. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.